Opening. Earnest request for attention. This unworthy and ordinary monk, Shixian, weeping tears of blood, sincerely bows and pleads to the assembly and all the faithful. Please be compassionate, listen for a moment, and reflect on my words. Master Xing'an, whose Dharma name was Shixian, humbly said his practice was poor and earnestly asked everyone to listen with compassion. He said, I hope you will compassionately spare a little time to hear what I have to say. In the Lotus Sutra, Bodhisattva Never Disparaging bowed reverently to all sentient beings, saying, I dare not slight you, for you will all attain Buddhahood. Master Xing'an shared the same attitude. With deep sincerity, he touched the hearts of beings and awakened the Mahayana roots of virtue in those with karmic connections. The phrase tears of blood needs no explanation. It means weeping to the point that blood flows. Bow means prostrating to all Buddhas and sentient beings. Encouraging everyone to generate bodhicitta through teachings and reasoning. This refers to using sacred teachings and correct reasoning to urge people to generate bodhicitta. Bodhicitta means the same as attaining Buddhahood to liberate beings, as clearly taught in the Dharma. Generating bodhicitta means guiding beings to Buddhahood. That's all it means. I heard that the essential gate for entering the path is first to give rise to the body-mind. Among the urgent tasks of practice, the foremost is to make a vow. I have heard the sutras and treatises state the most crucial gateway to entering the Mahayana path is to generate bodhicitta. To engage in Dharma practice, the most urgent thing is to make a great aspiration. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have indeed stated this in the sutras and treatises. Our great teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha's sole successor, Bodhisattva Maitreya, said in the Uttaratantra Sastra, devotion to the Mahayana is the seed. Shantideva also stated in The Way of the Bodhisattva, the moment bodhicitta arises, one becomes a child of the Buddha, born into the Buddha's family. Being born into an emperor's family makes one a prince, the crown prince who inherits the throne. An heir of the Buddha inherits Buddhahood and will eventually attain supreme enlightenment. The Tantras also state that to enter the Vajrayana, one must first generate bodhicitta. Without bodhicitta, one is not qualified to practice the Vajrayana. Vajrayana, also called mantrayana, involves mantra recitation. Why recite mantras? To help beginners connect with the deity. By chanting the mantras of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, one practices deity yoga, the most basic, elementary tantric practice. You might recite some mantras. This commentary states, without bodhicitta, one is not qualified to recite mantras. With bodhicitta, one can immediately connect with the deity through mantra recitation. Lama Atisha said, Mahayana and Hinayana are distinguished by motivation. If one meditates on non-self with only renunciation, one is a Hinayana practitioner practicing the Hinayana path. Once bodhicitta arises, all virtuous actions become excellent provisions for attaining unsurpassable enlightenment. Therefore, the difference between Mahayana and Hinayana lies in whether one has aroused the supreme bodhicitta. The great treatise on the stages of the path to enlightenment states that for a practitioner of great capacity, the first step is to recognize the entrance to the Mahayana, which is generating bodhicitta. The entrance of the Mahayana is simple. As I said earlier, generating bodhicitta means guiding beings to Buddhahood. The Mahayana also means guiding beings to Buddhahood. These two terms have the same meaning. Lama Tsongkhapa said, "If one generates genuine bodhicitta through diligent practice, even giving a crow some food becomes a bodhisattva's action. Without bodhicitta, even offering treasures filling the entire universe does not qualify as a bodhisattva's deed. Lacking bodhicitta, even engaging in the practices of ethical discipline, patience, diligence, meditation, wisdom, deity yoga, and energy channels does not make one a bodhisattva, not to mention entering the Vajrayana path." Let's return to the text. The essential gate for entering the path is first to give rise to the body-mind. The path certainly refers to the path to Buddhahood. Give rise to the body-mind means generating bodhicitta. Hence, generating bodhicitta is primary, the first step. Among bodhicitta, generosity, ethical discipline, wisdom, and other Dharma practices, which is the first practice to enter the Mahayana. It is generating bodhicitta. Without it, one is not considered a Mahayana practitioner. To enter the boundless paramitas, what is the primary practice? It is still bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the core of all Dharma. Without it, other practices are pointless, like a person without a heart. Without bodhicitta, there is no paramita. Paramita means bodhicitta. The paramita of generosity refers to generosity performed with bodhicitta. Generosity not incorporated by bodhicitta cannot be called the paramita of generosity. Instead, it is just ordinary giving, which won't become merits for Buddhahood. Its result is only karmic rewards in samsara or some merit on the path to liberation. Among the urgent tasks of practice, the foremost is to make a vow. This means the most pressing matter in Dharma practice is to first make a great aspiration. Both making a vow and giving rise to the body-mind refer to bodhicitta. To practice the Mahayana, we must first make a great aspiration. Otherwise, it is impossible to practice the Bodhisattva path. For if you don't even have the aspiration to liberate beings and attain Buddhahood, how can you practice the Mahayana? Only with bodhicitta in aspiration can bodhicitta in action arise. Without such an aspiration, any claim of practicing the Mahayana is false. Having a vow, all beings can be liberated. Having a body-mind, Buddhahood is attainable. After making such a vow, sentient beings can be liberated. After generating bodhicitta, one can achieve Buddhahood. These two statements contain profound, vast, and inconceivable principles of dependent arising. Perfect benefit for others arises from bodhicitta, and perfect benefit for oneself also arises from bodhicitta. In reality, benefiting oneself and benefiting others are inseparable. Perfect altruism includes benefiting oneself, and perfect self-benefit includes benefiting others. Perfect carries this profound meaning. Hence, the way of the Bodhisattva states, the Buddhas have pondered deeply for countless eons and saw that the mind of awakening is the most beneficial. This means bodhicitta is the most ultimate. Hence, it is called the most beneficial. In fact, generating bodhicitta or making a vow is like planting a seed. All subsequent roots, stems, branches, leaves, flowers, and fruits sprout from the seed. Without the seed, nothing can arise. So, what is the seed for attaining Buddhahood and liberating beings? What is the seed for the boundless paramitas? What is the seed for the Buddha's 3 bodies, 4 wisdoms, major and minor characteristics, and pure lands? What is the seed for the activities of benefiting sentient beings? The answer is bodhicitta. Therefore, the Flower Ornament Sutra states, bodhicitta is like the seed of all Dharma. Bodhicitta has 2 characteristics, the aspiration to benefit others and the aspiration to attain Buddhahood. Strictly speaking, it should be the intent that aspires for all beings, oneself and others, to attain Buddhahood. That is, the intent to pursue Buddhahood and liberate beings. Once bodhicitta with these 2 characteristics arises, the seed of all Dharma is planted. Thus, one will liberate all beings and attain Buddhahood. Through the power of this vow, one will fulfill it step by step, benefiting all beings and achieving a supreme enlightenment. In other words, generating bodhicitta is making a promise. How crucial is this promise for sentient beings? It is the source of infinite benefit for them. When this vow grows steadfast, it becomes a source of inexhaustible benefit. For one who has generated bodhicitta, as long as the vow is not abandoned, it constantly functions. Since the wheel of the vow keeps turning, all sentient beings will ultimately be liberated. After reaching the first Bodhisattva ground, one begins to liberate beings extensively through this vow. On the second Bodhisattva ground and beyond, one continues to guide beings with this vow. As one progresses in this way, the vow grows increasingly steadfast, vast, and perfect. Eventually, all realizations and altruistic activities fully arise from this bodhicitta. After attaining Buddhahood, one spontaneously liberates beings through past vows without effort or discrimination. After attaining Buddhahood, one continues to spontaneously guide beings with this vow without effort or discrimination. Spontaneously means adapting to the circumstances of sentient beings without the slightest attachment. Even after attaining Buddhahood, one still has karmic connections with countless beings. When causes and conditions ripen, the Buddha manifests to guide them. For example, Avalokiteshvara made 12 great vows at his causal stage. During the 5 paths and 10 grounds, these vows constantly function to benefit beings. After attaining Buddhahood, he responds to whoever calls upon him and serves as the ferry boat across the ocean of suffering. This is the manifestation of bodhicitta and the effect of the great vows. Another example is Amitabha, who generated bodhicitta at his causal stage and made 48 great vows, aspiring to attain Buddhahood and liberate beings. Eventually, these 48 vows were all fulfilled. Hence, the mind is inconceivable. If you make an aspiration, you will continuously develop in that direction. If you vow to liberate beings, you will do so. If you vow to attain Buddhahood, you will achieve it. This is because the law of causality never errs. The Diamond Sutra states, all the different types of sentient beings, whether they are born from eggs, from wombs, from moisture, or by transformation, whether they have form or not, whether they have thoughts or no thoughts, or have neither thought or non-thought, I shall liberate them by leading them to nirvana without residue. Here, beings of the 3 worlds and 6 realms are categorized. The 4 types of birth, born from eggs, wombs, moisture, or spontaneously, refer to beings in the desire realm. With form refers to the 4 dhyana heavens of the form realm. Without form refers to the 4 heavens in the formless realm, the heavens of infinite space, infinite consciousness, nothingness, and neither thought nor no thought. This encompasses all beings within the 3 realms. It means liberating all sentient beings. I shall liberate them by leading them to nirvana without residue. Liberation means nirvana. Consider the opposite. If we don't make such an aspiration, it won't work. Having a body-mind, Buddhahood is attainable. After generating bodhicitta, we can achieve Buddhahood. Bodhicitta is a supreme wish-fulfilling jewel. If you possess it, you possess everything. If you lack it, you lack everything. With bodhicitta, you will naturally obtain all Dharma. So, don't rush. If you earnestly cultivate bodhicitta, all Dharma will naturally approach you. Once bodhicitta arises, various karmically connected bodhisattvas will teach you the Dharma and guide you to practice. You'll know how to benefit sentient beings skillfully. What matters most is whether our bodhicitta is steadfast, strong, and genuine. If your bodhicitta is authentic and vast, all Dharma will naturally come to you. Think from the perspectives of scriptures, reasoning, or the accomplishment of the twofold qualities. If one truly wishes to practice the Dharma, attain liberation, and benefit beings, one will spontaneously generate bodhicitta. Once bodhicitta arises, one will naturally attain all the qualities of the 5 paths and 10 grounds. Bodhicitta aims to liberate all beings and attain Buddhahood. With the Supreme Bodhicitta, one will obtain all the Buddha's qualities. Please bear this in mind. After arousing bodhicitta, one will naturally accomplish the 5 paths, 10 grounds, 6 paramitas, and 4 means of attraction. One will achieve realization and Buddhahood. Without it, one cannot enter the Bodhisattva path or attain the merits of the Mahayana. That's why the Master said, the essential gate for entering the path is first to give rise to the body-mind. Among the urgent tasks of practice, the foremost is to make a vow.